So I got lucky because the two players that I needed to like not do well didn't do well, and then it turned out that one of the players couldn't make it to the top 8 because he had to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then one of the players, I won't say the name, but it's one of the top players was paying 2 points for conscripts instead of 3. So he made a mistake when he built his list. Yeah.
This is after the conscript nerf?
No, this is before the conscripts nerf.
Yeah, because SoCal Open was after Battle for Salvation, and that's where where that Sunday I remember that because I begged Reese to institute it.
Yeah. So I would have made it either way as number 7, but because of the 2-point drop, I went to number 5, so I didn't have to play the top player, which is what was so helpful, right? You want to go in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you want to be in the middle with everybody else. You don't want to have to play.
Yeah, brackets. You want to be in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah. So my first game of the second day was against TJ Lanigan. He has won a couple of GTs in the Midwest.
His name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know his name.
He plays Chaos. Really good dude.
Oh, he almost won.
Yes, he got second.
He got second after
Hard Boys.
Which one?
Hard Boys. He got second.
Yes.
He's a really good player. Really good dude. We know each other pretty well. A really relaxed game. It was a mirror match, same list.
Oh, okay.
The only difference is he didn't have a Blitz or the Poxwalkers, like he had
what, cultists?
Plague Marines. To do the grenade trick.
Oh, the grenade trick. I remember you talking about that.
So we played. He went first, and I was like, I'm screwed. Like if he takes with the Fire Raptor, he can. The way he plays the Fire Raptor is different. I just use it for cheap, and I saturate the targets.
Right.
He used it with a ton of upgrades. 5+ pain.
Really?
Yeah, and his Singe. So I think I don't know. He did like a couple of second powers on it. So that would be protecting it from me.
Right.
Like he went first.
I think I think if I do Fire Raptor, I try to go cheap. So it's heavy bolters, the cheapest missiles, everything cheap, just for volume of fire.
What he does is he spends a lot of psychic powers, making it hard to kill.
So that's one of his key units.
Yeah, exactly. So he went first, but he couldn't do too much. Because of deployment, we were really far from each other.
Was it corner deployments?
Yeah.
Or
Vanguard.
Okay, yeah.
So I hit on the back, got cover from my vehicle and Magnus.
Okay.
So it forced him to make a decision. So he's not going to be able to kill both. He needs to kill one or the other. And because I have a blitz, I have an advantage now. Right. So he realized he couldn't kill the Fire Raptor, so he went for Magnus. Hurt him bad. But after that, I went first. I went next. Got his Fire Raptor between my blitz, shooting twice. My Fire Raptor.
Okay.
And then protected my Magnus. And at that point, he said, well, what do I do now? Because I can stay back and shoot you out of the table. So you need to come up to me. Because you cannot charge my Magnus because he's running the Poxwalker. Like you cannot physically put your base next to Magnus.
Fit, yeah.
It means that your Magnus is not going to be charged by mine. So he charged whatever. I charged with my Magnus and I got lucky. I got that Hex.
Oh, wow.
Which was big. It wouldn't have mattered because at that point, you surround Magnus with your Poxwalkers or with any other unit. He can kill 6 at most.
Yeah.
So either he flies out of combat and he cannot charge, which is big, or he has to stay. So I charged him because I got Death X, which was very nice. Killed him in one go.
Right.
Between a Demon Prince and my...
I don't know what that's like, because every time I cast it, I either fail or they deny it.
I always count, which is not going to work. In my mind, it's not going to work. I'm going to try, and if I get lucky, I get lucky.
You just don't count on it.
Exactly, I don't count. Yeah. And when it happens, it's great. But so that was my 4th game. 5th game was against an IG guy, really good. He destroyed all his opponents throughout. And I was concerned because he was the Relic, and he has Celestin. So like, this is not going to be fun.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. But that's when they're really the only game where the Poxwalkers were like, by themselves, they carry the game. Because the strategy worked perfectly. By the end of the game, I think I had like 150 Poxwalkers, and he had killed over 200.
That's awesome.
A bunch of the playtesters were there, and we were like, this is not broken. Like, this is broken. This is like...
According to GW, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because when that FAQ came out, they didn't fix it.
They actually said that that's how it works.
Yeah.
You can
is this broken? No.
Yeah. So the guy was like...
Is this really what you wanted?
Yes. Looking at the table, was like, what would you have done differently if you were playing my... Like, I don't think there's anything you can do. Like, at the moment I went first... And
so you went first.
That one, yes.
The only difference would have been him going first.
Which is, that would have been big, because if he gets the relic and then moves against the Celestin, then I'm playing catch up. with IG, which is not.
So it basically came down to
Yeah, what I did was I got the relic, moved my Poxwalkers, and then the Fire Raptor went to town. Started killing conscripts and just multiplying.
Okay.
So that was my 5th game.
And at this point, because it's the brackets, it doesn't matter how much you win by, just as long as you beat the player.
Yep. And then you go against the next. So I started, I think, number 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
So number 1 plays number 8.
Yeah.
Number 2,
Like
number
a normal
7.
bracket stuff.
Exactly. Oh yeah. So then I was playing now Nick Navati.
Yes. Which I got to see half of it.
Yeah, the game was in stream.
Yeah.
And Nick and I play a lot. And
I can imagine.
Not only we play a lot, but we also like share at least ideas. So I knew what his league was like, and he knew mine because we helped each other build it. Actually, the box worker idea was his.
Okay.
He just tried to use it to the extreme.
Sorry, whose idea?
The box worker idea was his.
Yeah. Not
Was
about
Nick
it?
Navati's.
Oh, okay.
Because that's who we played in the final.
I missed that part. I was checking the sound for the stream because
I
somebody
saw.
said what's wrong with the sound, so I was checking it. But it's fine.
So he tried to he tried 2 weeks beforehand, and he tried to hard with with a bunch of combos, and he just invested too many points in the Poxwalkers.
Because his army was Poxwalkers.
For the BFS he didn't bring Poxwalkers. He brought Mortarion.
He brought Mortarion.
2
2 units of
of-
Berserkers in Minos.
Yes.
2 units of Obliterators?
No Blitz, but
No
2
Blitz?
units of War Talons.
Were there any Morty and Magnus lists?
No, only Mortarion.
No, but did anybody bring that to the tournament?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There were 2 or 3 of those. I don't think that this has the mileage, but
I don't think it's very good, but I think it's hilarious.
I mean, I think you can get through a lot of people that are not prepared to fight it,
Right.
But
It'll get you through the early rounds,
Yeah,
but once you get to the upper upper rounds, it's not
Right.
gonna.
Yeah, exactly. You're basically spending 900 points in 2 models and that
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, it was against Nick. He went first. We both knew it was his only chance of making it. He doesn't have any shooting,
Yeah.
and I have the Fire Raptor.
His shooting are Berserkers.
Exactly.
He shoots Berserkers out of the Rhino.
But I had Alpha Legion and he didn't.
That's awesome shooting.
Which meant that I had board control, so I could push his units really far away.
Yeah.
And once he got to my Poxwalkers, I would be multiplying, and there would be nothing that he could do. So he played the best you could expect from anybody, and he made it a game. But it was really tough. In that mirror matchup, it was on me to screw it up.
What do you think was the tipping point for you in terms of winning? Was it when because I remember Mortarion charged Magnus.
No, Magnus charged
Or
Mortarion.
Magnus charged Mortarion. We saw who the better Primarch
Yeah.
was that time.
Right.
Because you couldn't in the Twitch stream, you couldn't get a lot. There was no sound,
Okay.
and the commenters weren't commenting about the game. They were
Okay.
talking about other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off, to be honest.
They're really cool dudes. Yeah, those guys.
That's fine, but
No, I understood.
I mean, and they're still working on it.
Right.
You know, for a first time, it was fine.
Right.
But if you're going to have commenters, you need to have them talk about the game, not talk about other stuff, or at least not take away from the game, because I couldn't tell.
Especially if you can't hear the game.
Yeah, if we could hear you and Nick talking,
It'd be different.
It'd be different. Then they could talk about whatever they want because we could still hear you guys.
Yeah.
But I think it was their first year doing it.
I think so. Yeah.
Which was fine, and they already planned on improvement. I'm probably going to get better, but because I couldn't see what was happening, it was difficult.
Yeah, I wanted to hear Carlos's voice, and I couldn't hear it.
All I saw was them fighting, and then all of a sudden,
Chairs being thrown.
Mortarion's gone.
Basically, so my plan worked out well. And my idea was they got freaking onion, layers.
Right.
So he's gonna have to throw 1 unit at each layer.
Yeah.
And then my Oblitz were able to take down one of the rhinos.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then my Demon Prince, I sacrificed it to kill a unit of Berserkers. So
Okay.
he just didn't have enough units to go through the onion.
What did the Warp Talons with your army? The Warp Talons really can't do too much.
They did well because it's world leaders, so that means that they have 3 attacks each,
Okay.
and he spent 3 command points to attack twice.
So he was actually running World Leaders.
He was.
For the Warp
Yeah.
Talons.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. World leaders are really good.
No, they are. You expect everybody to run Alpha Legion Death Guard, basically.
Yeah. No,
Well, I'm
I
stubborn,
think,
so I run Black
To
Legion.
be honest, I think that's.
Nobody's
the
talking about
beauty.
you.
It's always about me, John. That's why I'm on every show.
Okay, fine.
To me, that's the beauty of chaos. Like literally, you cannot go wrong. Every unit is good. There is no one unit. Well, maybe
Even
Defilers.
Defilers? Mutilators.
There are a couple that are not great, but
Regulators.
most units with the use of psychic powers and CPs.
Yeah.
You can even a unit of cultists can become.
Oh yeah,
freaking-
cultists with Slanesh.
Yeah. Or
Slanesh.
corn.
Traders.
Corn.
You can attack
cultists are
twice.
good.
You have 4 attacks if you attack twice.
Yeah.
And if you drop pressions and you have an exalted champion next to them.
Danny runs the Corn World Eaters
Yeah.
cultists. Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on your list, and that's the beauty of Chaos. That you have so much flexibility as to what you use, and yet you can do well.
Right.
So yeah, that was
So big win. More importantly, your list was correct.
Yes.
No shenanigans.
Well, it was reviewed to the.
Well, listen. From what I hear, reviewing doesn't matter because nobody reviews it right anyway.
Honestly,
Apparently.
it's tough. It's tough. The new edition, especially with the new change to points, and you have to
Yeah,
use
now
5
with-
different
now with-
books.
Now with chapter improve, it's going to get even better.
Exactly. And honestly, I haven't found anybody that is cheating on purpose. Like it's making.
No, I don't think any discrepancies that have been found in the tournaments so far have been like malicious.
Exactly. So,
No, absolutely not.
I'm not-
Although our team chat talked about going to SoCal Open with over points just to prove a point, but
We didn't.
we didn't, which I don't think would have mattered anyway because
Throw that out there. Nobody did that.
because we would have lost. We wouldn't have been
Right.
at the top table.
Even with extra points,
Even,
our team didn't do that.
even with extra points.
I think it honestly sucks the most for the guy that wins a tournament and has nothing to do with. Like I think there was one person that won with a relic on a primary psyker that. Was
Yeah,
not-
we talked. I talked about that with Travis. Travis's view is that even though it was vetted by the judges, that he still should have been DQ'd for everything.
Sure.
I would agree with that.
I don't know, and I don't get into that. All I'm saying is that guy, who obviously didn't win because of that, was a silly mistake and something that could be missed by anybody.
But like I said, what I think the issue was because of the judges, it was illegal or incorrect because the judges, one, required them to use Battlescribe,
Right.
and two, required him to put the second relic down. If he didn't have to put the second relic down and just paid for each game, because if he's not playing against a Chaos Army,
right.
he doesn't need that second relic.
Right.
Then he can make the choice. I'm gonna pay the second. I'll give it to that guy. Then the list would have been fine. But because they made him put that second relic down. That's why it became an issue, which really wasn't an issue.
What I mean is that
You mean that the list checking caused an issue?
No, I mean the list, the process for the
Right.
list checking caused the issue.
Well, and then that caused the argument online. Somebody on one of the groups was like, "Yeah, Battlescribe is official," and I'm like, "No,
I guess by that tournament standard.
that's
no,
not official."
someone was arguing. Yeah,
No, they're arguing that it was like blanketly official for everything,
No.
every tournament. I'm like, no, it's not at all.
and he actually argued that.
Yeah. Well, then I got tagged into it by somebody because they're like, okay, because somebody claimed it was official for ITC.
Oh,
So they tagged me and they're like, okay, as an LVO head judge, is this official for LVO and ITC? And I was like, absolutely not. It is not
Actually, we
required.
prefer not to use that at all.
Yeah.
Not because it's wrong, but just the formatting, the list, because the way you build the list in Army Builder, I mean not Army Builder, in Battlescribe, it's very convoluted, and it prints out that way too.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to follow.
I don't use Battlescribe anymore. I use Excel.
I use Battlescribe, but transfer it to Excel, and then double check the points. Like when you told me about the Nurglings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my list that gave me so I was able to adjust stuff, and I was able to fix it on BCP, the BCP app.
Mm-hmm.
So that was correct. I just had to fix it because I didn't want to print more sheets.
Right.
So it did, but it didn't really matter. Nobody really cared.
But what I meant was that this guy, he did in a crazy way with an army that was not a soup, it was just pure guard, and that got
Right.
tainted by a stupid mistake. So to me, while I get in and everybody can get upset, like I'm just sorry for this guy because he went there, he put his best effort, he did really well, and then
Right.
everybody's now talking about the mistake he made rather than the huge accomplishment. So hopefully Games Workshop comes up with
They keep saying they keep saying they will. So fingers crossed.
even if it's wrong, it will be on them. So now we'll have a tool to check.
Right. And that one's probably. And I'm assuming they'll correct it quicker, but I don't know. I haven't heard any because they have the app for Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard any issues with the app in terms of the list checking part. But Age of Sigmar is not as granular as 40K.
Yeah. Somebody, I think it was Tony Myers, was talking about how the Age of Sigmar app doesn't quite work like the way you would want it to. Like all the points and stuff is correct, but some of the relics and things are wrong.
Oh,
or their strategy, whatever their equivalent of relic is, are incorrect or whatever. So I guess there are some issues, but hopefully they would.
But you don't. I don't think you pay for the points for the relics in Age of Sigmar.
Oh, okay.
In our game, for the most part, you don't either.
Yeah, so you can just handwrite what the relic is. It's not, to me, it's not that big of an issue. I know one person asked why. I know you said because the Death Guard book came out, but the change from Nova to Salvation, was it because of the Death Guard book why you changed the army, or because you lost? At what point did you? Because I know we went pretty far with the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you changed it because of the loss.
No. So I know. The reason I didn't do better. I mean, I got third place, so it's not
right. But I'm saying,
did you
change
no.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's true. What I mean.
Did you change it because of the loss, or did you change it just to refine it because of the Death Guard book coming out?
A combination of the two. So I lost two players. Casey, who got second place, and Wanyo, who got first place. Okay. So Casey was running the Super Chicken.
Which Casey?
Casey Helly. He was running the Super Chicken.
Okay.
And that was like
we're not going to worry about that after that was not chapter proof. So.
And then playing Ganyo, I realized that the problem with the Berserkers in my list was that I was too dependent on them.
Okay.
So
you just had the one unit?
I had two units in Rhinos. I don't think Berserkers work well when you infiltrate them. I like them in Rhinos. The problem was that I was too dependent on them, and a good list going first was able to take down the Rhinos, and then you are now Magnus is competing with one unit of Berserkers for fourth time, or the Cultist. Okay. So you have 3 units competing for the same power.
Right.
That makes sense.
So I was trying to think about something that could give me board control and crowd control, meaning I can kill a ton of conscripts. When I saw the book and I saw Nick playing that, him and I were playing with that concept, and I loved it. And I thought, if I was to minimize it and just spend 200 points on the idea, a little bit more with typhus, but similar amount of points as with the Berserkers, that will be a no-brainer, especially because against guard, you should be going first because you have less drops.
Right.
And once you go first, the first will go to town. It's crazy how powerful they become.
Any thoughts? The other question people have is basically, how do you prepare? I know you prepare to go to because most people, to be honest, I'm assuming most people know where they're going to be at. Like if I go to a GT, I know I'm going to end up somewhere in the middle. If I'm lucky, I'll edge towards the top, but my days are long gone, long past. If you're going with the you want to win a GT, that's what you're going to do. So what mentality, or how do you train yourself to go to win a GT, or to prepare yourself the day of, the week before, or even the month before a GT? How do you get yourself ready? I mean, do you do the typical tweak the list? Do you talk to your friends, your guys you play against all the time? Is there anything else mentally or that you do specifically for that you?
So what I try to do is I try to look at the list that I'm likely to be facing.
Okay.
But I don't. So for let's say hampering for the LVO.
Okay.
I know Chaos against IG is a really tough matchup.
Right.
So what I'm doing is I'm talking to people at a club that might have the models to run an IG list.
Yeah.
So I go through the codex, the IG codex, even though I'm not playing it, and try to figure out what is the worst matchup possible that codex can give me. I make that list for Tim.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Tim, I need you to play this.
Right.
And then we're playing it not with the idea of me winning, with the idea of him getting the most out of that list.
Right.
So like if he's about to move a Lemon Russ and it's not a good move, I might stop him even though we're playing against each other. Don't do that.
So you want to you practice against a list that's your worst matchup one, and then you basically help your opponent to beat your list.
Yes.
In every way possible.
Yeah. Right, because I don't care about winning a practice game. What I care about is figuring out how to beat that list in a tournament setting.
And how this thing works.
Exactly. So that Nick, Dallas, and I, the three of us, used to do that all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Tim has the models to do basically any army.
So it's basically you do that against the top 3 lists that you know you're going to be facing. So for me right now, it's Eldar,
Guard,
Guard, and Chaos Mirror matchup.
Okay, but mirror matchup you kind of know.
The mirror matchup I know pretty well, so that one I don't have to practice as much, but definitely guard
Guard and Eldar. Not
Eldar.
Tyranids?
Well, Tyranids will be there, but I haven't been able to read the codex yet.
Okay.
So I don't know how
So
afraid I should be yet.
But you read every codex.
Yes.
You go through, yeah. See, I don't.
And I tend to
I don't
make
know
a
if
list.
John does
I tend to
either.
make a list.
I don't. I read all the groups though.
I do too.
Yeah.
We're both in a lot of the same groups, so I see a lot of it. I learn better by playing against it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not good at reading something and understanding exactly how it works. I have to have somebody explain it to me or see it on the tabletop.
Yeah.
I also try to make sure that I make a list of every codex. Because when you make that list, when you understand.
Right.
It's like, well, because something can be
Makes sense.
extremely good, but you need to understand the point cost and how the synergy between units in the codex.
Adam and I are simple people.
You know what? I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. My heyday was 3.5 and 4th.
Right.
The best I did was at a LEGT where I was going into the last round. This was 6 games back then, 4 on Saturday. I was 5-0 going into the last round. I lost the last game. I still ended up like top 10.
If you don't
Like 8 or something.
you're last.
First, you're last. No, first, you're last. But that was the high water mark for me. So
Yeah, the closest I ever got was in 6th edition playing Anime Expo or something like that. Small GT there. I got top table and then lost. It was demons on demons.
oh, mine was against actually Ultramarines, and because this is during the Demon Bomb era. All he did was just hugged the back line. because the way it worked, the way it used to work. Because I know you started playing
Yeah, in
3.5 or 4.
3.5.
Okay, because you remember how to summon demons, right?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I
Oh my
was
God.
13. I don't remember.
Fuck you. I was 13.
I was like 10, man, so whatever.
I don't remember how specifically demons work on
Fuck
3.5.
all y'all. 'Cause I was.
I'm only like 22 anyways, so.
Yeah, sure. You
know what?
50.
You have 2 kids. If you're Mexican, I believe that. Not gonna lie. Hey, I have 1 at 22, so my daughter's 22 now. She's already ahead of me.
I didn't have any at 22.
I had 1 in the oven at 21.
Nice.
So 22 when she was born. There you go. But back then, what you did was you took the large pie plate.
Mm-hmm.
Your character, your model had an icon. If it was in a rhino, the rhino counted as having the icon.
Right.
The pie plate had to touch the icon.
I don't remember now. It's
And
scatter.
then you roll the scatter die. You hope it scatters towards your enemy. You place the models on top of the scatter die, on the top of the pie plate.
They move and everything.
No, they can't move, but they can assault.
Right.
So
Biker Demon Bomb was the worst.
yeah, I used rhinos.
But wasn't there a character?
Darian ran
Oh,
Biker.
you could take a demon, not demon prince, you could infiltrate one of the characters.
Chosen, you can infiltrate.
And then you could move them, and then do
The
the
infiltrate was like the 12-inch, whatever.
That's what I
and
thought,
then- yeah, you can do that. And I ran I ran all the 4 demons. I had pink horrors, bloodletters, demonettes, and plague bears, because they all had cool rules. I mean, not the pink horrors. They shot. The bloodletters had basically ignore armor, because back then they didn't have AP.
Right. It was
Oh no,
like
they had AP, but the
not in
power
combat.
power weapons only ignored armor. They didn't have an AP value.
Okay.
It just
So
ignored your armor.
Terminators, but they just shoot through Terminators, anything with an armor. They ignored armor. Demonettes had rending on 6s to hit.
That's why Darian and I used to run in 4th. We used to run the Terminators with the Lightning Claws.
Yeah.
Because Lightning Claws just ignored everything. And they had a bunch
Yes,
of actions.
'cause they
Threw
just
out there with the
ignored
chaplain who re-rolled everything.
Yeah. And plague bearers were okay, but they had a special rule that any models within 6 inches that were not Mark of Nurgle suffered a wound on a 6, I think it was. I think it was friend or foe, so they usually stay away from the rest of my army.
And now you mentioned demons, I think that's gonna be tying back to that video. That's gonna be a big change.
Yeah, because Demons comes out before Eldar.
That's gonna be huge.
Does it?
I believe so. Because remember,
But how far before?
I think Reese said a week.
That's gonna be brutal. That's
If Reese allows it be at LVO,
they said they will.
then yeah, we'll see what happens. Because right now you're not seeing a lot of pure demon armies.
No.
You're seeing like my army is Chaos Space Marines with demons,
Right.
but like hardly any demons. It's just
Yeah.
2 heralds, nurglings, and brimstones.
Okay, so then I have as many demons as you then.
Yeah. So it's like literally the minimum possible just to get the nurglings and still stay pure. that's what you're really seeing. You're not seeing a lot of like just full on demon armies anymore. If you are, they're usually siege.
I think the problem is going to be that we are not going to have time to really get to explore the codex and practice with it. So for people that are trying to do well, they're going to be playing Demon Codex. For somebody who's not like Nick, I think Nick is going to spend a week prior to the LVO looking at that codex and trying to figure out all the combos. And most people are not going to be ready.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's super overpowered, I can't imagine somebody wins with it because you don't have the time.
I think
Nick could, but I think Nick could go far. I don't think he can win with it.
I don't know. I think, especially because the list that he's going to be facing will not know how to react to this.
That's probably true. That's a good point.
So,
but it also depends what their stratagems are.
Yeah.
Unless half the field decides to just bring demons, which place you're playing all weekend.
The problem is you won't have time to paint them and get them ready. Unless you have a demon army already, it's going to be hard for...
There are a lot of demon armies, but where are you going to have what you need? Because it's a new book. Yeah. Are you going to have all the new stuff that you need?
It's almost like the Exalted Flamer issue.
Yeah. Right.
They're good. They're kind of good now, but the only way you can get them is with the chariot.
Well, like, who's got Seekers of Slanesh?
I do.
I have 20.
I only have 5.
Am I thinking of the wrong model?
Yeah,
the
probably.
Seekers are the riders.
They're thinking about the other one, the
Fiends?
The Fiends.
Fiends, yeah.
I have two that are unpainted.
Right, you have 2 Fiends?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll sell them. They're metal.
You know that
a bunch of people have Beast and Hurdle.
The min unit is 3, right?
They used to be units of 1, so I don't know.
That's the units of 1.
A bunch of people have Beast and Hurdle because Beast and Hurdle were good in that detachment in 7th.
Yeah.
Because you could take them as solos. Yeah. So a bunch of people got those. But, like, how many people have Epidemius?
No one.
So what if Epidemius is really good?
He's good now. He's in a lot of Death Guard lists.
I think it's a truck, but I tried it last week. 3 games and I wasn't impressed. I feel like by the time it actually becomes really powerful and really buffs entire army, you're already done.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter anymore. Especially with Delgard, where you don't have that much shooting. You're in combat already.
I think because Mortarion's a demon, I think that's where
sure, but once Mortarion's in close combat and has killed 3 units, by the time he helps Mortarion, I think you have to have killed 4 units.
Yeah, I don't know the details of it. Yeah. So that should tell you if I don't know it, then that should tell you how well it does overall, I guess. Because you too, John. I mean, you see all the lists and people, and
it's true.
But people seem like he's good.
No, maybe I'm not using it right, but I try and
maybe you suck.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, sure. The guy at the table who sucks is him. Sure.
I'm not saying that. Like,
let's go with that.
Like, obviously,
I'm just saying what you're thinking, John.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
You can only play so many games, right? And somebody might have found a way of using him that really works out. I just don't know. I haven't been able to figure it out.
Well, it might be nobody on the East Coast where you were figured it out. Maybe a couple people in other metas figured it out. We won't know till LVO. Yeah. Because LVO is the convergence of like everything. The entire United States and some portions of the world's metas just clash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like seeing the New Zealanders. Because the New Zealanders always have this odd meta. And I think it's because the one guy, Pascal, always plays Blood Angels. And he's actually really good. But he plays Blood Angels all the time. And so I think their meta gets skewed by they have some players who are like just really good at specific things. And so they build stuff to beat that. And then it's unexpected what they bring.
Well, Blood Angels are going to be good from what I've seen.
True.
So
yeah.
Because Blood Angels, Dark Angels.
Yeah, but those are, to me, those are like Marines. Like, I know the stratagems are going to be seen. Like, I'm not terrified of them. I think we're going to have enough time to get ready for them. I think Dark Angels might get annoying if there's like layers and layers and layers of -1s to hit. That could get annoying. But I think we know what to expect.
I don't think they're going to get layers.
I hope not.
I almost think for some reason Zinch might. I don't know why.
The only thing I can see as being really good for either Angel Book, Dark or Blood is if what they get is something along the lines of the Primaris Marines are going to go down to points of chapter approved.
Yeah, we've seen that. Yeah.
So if they get their own unique Primaris Marines that are also really good and cheap, and you can build an entire Primaris Marine army that's tough, cheap, and can move, and they get 1 or 2 that can actually do something in an assault, then the Primaris Marines becomes a well-rounded army.
I wonder if they can
now it's not dangerous because it's not well-rounded.
Yeah, they don't have the units. There's no real close combat units. They seem to be more shooty.
And the guys that look like close combat guys don't do it. Reavers or whatever, right?
I don't even know what they do.
They're the coolest looking models, and they're trash.
I don't think I have seen a single primaries unit since I started playing.
Right.
I have, but they're usually in one. There was one Dark Angel player that had, I don't know if it was all primaries, but there was a lot of primaries units, and with the 2 of the repulsor tanks.
Yep.
The repulsor tanks are good.
But because he had Azrael, which keep the 4+ invulnerable bubble. If they keep that, that's still good. And then the thing with the Dark Shroud.
I think that's the problem. Like, if the Dark Shroud,
Depends what the Lion can do.
as it works right now, I think it gives anybody
I still don't think
-1,
the
right?
Lion's in it. Dark Shroud is -1.
To anybody, right?
And within a bubble, yeah.
Yeah.
So like right now, without knowing anything else, just with the index, think about what we know from Chapters Approved, which is the Fire Raptors goes down to 60 points.
Yeah.
So that means for 362, you get a Fire Raptor fully kit. Now imagine that multiplied by 3
So you're at
with Azrael.
little over 1,000 points.
Sure, Azrael
Okay.
and a Dark Shroud. Now,
So you're at probably about 1,300.
sure 1,300
And then
points.
whatever else.
I feel like I
1,300
need to
points.
buy 3 Fire Raptors. That's what I feel like.
It means
I
that
know. I just repaint mine.
-2 to hit, 4+ invul. Have fun.
Yeah, seriously.
It's insane for 1,300 points.
Yeah, that is really good.
So that's my concern. That if they
Because
get
the bubble
layers,
will affect flyers, right?
I think it's anything.
Because it's any unit. It's a unit.
Yeah, I haven't. We don't have a lot of Dark Angel players in our area.
No.
And I could be wrong, but that was my
Darian
understanding.
used it a little bit. He's the one guy in our area who tried to make that work. With the Primaris Marines, the Hellblaster ones, right?
Yeah.
And the Repulsors and the Azrael.
But what was the? Oh yeah, he brought it to the tournament.
He brought it to the tournament. I don't remember how he did. He didn't
brought-
win. But
No, I think he went 1 and 2.
yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to make them work because they're so expensive. And they don't do what you want them to do.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there's certain things you need them to do.
With Fire Raptors, I'm gonna have to buy 2 more Fire Raptors.
That's gonna be a problem. Fire Raptor, unless they change the points cost before a VO, they're gonna be a problem. It's the same problem as Storm Ravens, but they are better.
Well, I think that what also needs to be done is if it's not an actual Fire Raptor, you can't use it as one.
I heard China's working overtime.
No comment. Then we have our New Zealand listener.
Oh, yeah, we have a New Zealand listener. Sweet.
So the year-end champs is CanCon is this weekend,
Okay.
which is I think Australia's or New Zealand's year-end champs.
Mhm.
So it looks like the Astra Militarum list is the front runner
The front runner.
for that one. It seems like with 8th edition they've dropped because they used to use a comp system. They used to call it community comp.
Right.
But it seems with 8th that they don't use it. It's more pure.
Fair.
So they have a more. I think that's why we got the skewed meta from
Because they were
down
comp.
under because it was
that makes sense.
comp hammer.
Right. Yeah, their list always seemed more balanced, but also unique.
Yeah.
But that's probably because of their meta, like I was saying.
So with now them being more pure, as far as I know, I mean I'm not that familiar or intimate with the scene that it seems like it's a little better.
And if I travel there, I wouldn't be traveling there to play 40K.
Shame on you.
Honestly.
Shame on you.
What
I
if
know.
someone paid for you to go?
To play 40K,
play
then
40K.
sure.
Sponsored.
If I was sponsored to go play 40K someplace,
That
then
means
I'll
you
play
have
40K
to be
someplace.
at least
But
good, so we're out.
that's true. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm currently building custodes. So
Yeah,
this is not happening.
Yeah, I know. Huh? So speaking of, we already mentioned chapter approved. We saw the images. Everyone's seen the images.
All of the images or just some?
Just the points.
Okay. Because there's a couple people floating around.
Other images.
Was that a stratagem? No, it was a redone rule for characters.
Characters. I don't want to talk about it because that will most likely be fixed, and I know you want to.
I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk about.
You're building models over there.
I'm building models over here.
What are you building right now?
Custodes.
Okay.
Things I'm going to paint gold.
Things that are not going to win.
It's fine.
I guess I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go?
Yeah, I have to eat dinner.
Dinner?
Long day of work.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts from you or any final advice?
I mean, you guys are going to the LVO. The biggest thing is learn your codex. I know everybody says
seriously,
the
right?
same thing, but now that the CPs, the command points are so important, your entire army can change if you use the right command point at the right time. Like one of my games at Nova was against Pajama Pants.
Right.
I won that game because I remembered to use the bolter, the warp. Bullets.
Oh, the one that gives you mortal wounds if you roll
And
a
he had
or a
the
bolt weapon.
he had the 300-point drop pot of hell.
Oh, Charybdis?
Yeah, and I killed
That
it.
went up in points too.
I killed it with
Yes.
a bolter because I remember that I had that command point.
See,
I got the group text. Anybody want a Charybdis? when they saw they come out.
So just learn your codex. Make sure that you memorize everything, even those stratagems that look like you never use them.
Yeah.
If you are playing that 7-round tournament, 6-round tournament, chances are there's gonna be that one round where that's gonna.
Those cards help.
Yeah,
the cards help a lot.
They do. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, my Black Legion has a relic that's Eye of Night. That's basically whatever. If the model, instead of shooting, the Lord or whoever you give it to can shoot the Eye of Night at any vehicle it can see. It's not even a
and what is that?
range. It's Black Legion.
Oh, okay, that's why.
That's why. So it's
why you don't know it.
That's why you don't know it. So it's any vehicle they can see on a 2+. They shoot at it. And on a 2+, they do D3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
So you combine that with the
D6.
With the D6 on a bolt pistol from
fucking
librarian or sorcerer or whatever
per turn.
Yeah, and that's another. You have to hit on a 4, I think.
Okay.
No, yours.
No, you just have to hit.
You just have to hit.
But
yeah.
you cannot modify it.
Okay, then yeah, librarian. The sorcerer hits on
3+, I believe.
3, so you do another D3 mortal wounds. And,
Yeah. No, I did with a castle over, so he didn't choose and the collision.
Yeah.
Poof. Anyways.
All right, Carlos.
Nice to be
Thank
here,
you
guys,
for
and
being with
I'll be
us.
back,
I'll
so.
see you around.
Here goes.
All right. Now that we finally got rid of him, now we can talk real talk. Real talk.
Hey, thank you. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, no worries. Real talk with Adam and John.
Is that what we call this?
I don't know.
The only thing I want to blame Carlos for is having to be on the stream now.
I'm not.
How am I ever going to get all my custodes built?
They'll still be there. Trust me.
Whatever. You don't know.
They're not going anywhere.
Maybe I know some inside information about what's coming out that's going to be good, and it's going to be custodes.
No.
No, that's not going to happen.
You'll get an HQ unit because there's 10,000 likes on our 100,000 likes or whatever. That's about.
Which I didn't realize when I bought all the custode models to build. I was just like, you know what I want to do? I want to do something
Well, I
cool
think it's the name character
cool
from
looking.
the Horus Heresy, but
Yeah,
they'll probably translate it.
Trajanus something or
I
other.
forget that.
Yeah.
Oh, Valorous or Valerian. I don't know. Valium. I don't know.
You're thinking of the big character from that.
From Horus Heresy.
Oh God, what is his name? Yeah,
Not the guy in the Dreadnought. Not the Dreadnought.
No, he's like the head of the custodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
That's
it's not him.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not the character they're putting out. Deportation. Damn, Jeff.
Wow.
Woo. Good lord.
That's right, but I get to stay. See?
Well, apparently, your
Yeah.
accent isn't thick enough for us to deport you.
It's harder to find. Plus, I'm a natural born citizen.
Okay then. Well, fine. Why don't you just be all hoity-toity about it?
No, I'll be like Cheech in Born in East LA.
Nice.
They'll still deport me.
Yeah.
So so we were talking. So Chapter Proof came out, or the leaks came
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
Mainly the points. Some other stuff. GW showed the stratagems for a lot of some of the armies.
Yeah, which is
Or
cool.
was that in the leaks? I can't remember now.
There's all kinds of stuff in the different leagues. There's
As far as we know, GW
Yeah.
leaked put those leaks out.
There's stratagems. I think they do. I think that they control a lot of what gets leaked by the people who get the stuff early.
I think from what we saw when GW first came back, it
Yeah.
pointed to a lot of them showing the leaks.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
I still think that's the case. I still think that they'll give a book out to somebody, let's say a podcast.
Not us.
Not us. We don't get them. But let's say they do, right?
Right.
And I think that they'll tell them, you can't leak anything until this date,
Right.
and these are the things that we're approving for leak.
Okay.
Like I don't think that you can leak whatever you want, because the one image of the thing we were talking about earlier,
I already forgot.
no, it's the one that everybody was freaking out about.
Okay.
Oh, the change to characters, right?
Change the key.
Like
how to
that
target characters.
screenshot is clearly of the book
Yeah.
from like via a phone. It's not somebody's PDF version. It's not somebody's like official picture, because all the leaked pictures look the same.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah. I mean,
They all relatively look the same. A lot of the leaked pictures look very, very
Okay.
similar. I think the leaks all come from one source. And the leaked pictures are always of the same thing. No matter the source, it's always the same stuff.
yes.
So if everybody's got the book, why is everybody leaking the exact same thing?
Right. Or the same style.
Or the same style? Even if it's not the same style, let's say you're leaking these 5 stratagems,
Mhm.
and they're leaking these 5 stratagems, and Bella Lasso's leaking the same 5 stratagems, and then Frontline Gaming has all 15. but there's no new content
It's
outside those 15
stuff,
stratagems. You know,
Mhm.
it's all the same thing. So there's clearly, of the people leaking stuff, it's being organized.
Okay.
It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not tinfoil hat over here. It's just that's the observation. It's pretty clear.
No, yeah. Someone once, when the Magnus was leaked, they noticed that the trash bin that the Magnus box was in was the same color as the one they used in the promotion, the announcement, the orange one or red one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how come they think that it was basically GW.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Putting that leak out.
I'm pretty sure.
Which is fine. It's a marketing strategy.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying there's certain things that I think they're not allowed to talk about. Like that one leak, the thing with the way characters are being targeted.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not supposed to have been leaked.
And besides, the book comes out literally in 2 days.
That's true. Right. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it. But in terms of the points, I mean, we already knew about Malefic Lords.
Yep.
Or even the FAQ. I mean, we can talk about they up the points to conscripts.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the same points as regular guardsmen.
Right.
Except less worse at hitting and
less durable and less
less
morale.
Easier to die. They don't listen.
Yeah, that's right. They don't listen. They change that too. Sure.
So would you still take off conscripts? The only reason you would take them would be to have 30 of them.
Yeah, I think you take them for the blob. They're still useful. At the point level, it's still worth it for the guys, but I don't think you see as many of them.
Maybe one blob or two.
Yeah, you can probably take one blob for the screen, and that's that.
Or would you just take regular guardsmen? Because there's the command point that lets you combine squads.
Right. That's true.
So if you have, like I was telling Carlos, if you have the relic that lets you get command points back, well, I think it's only one command point.
Yeah.
You spend a command point, you get it back, great. If not, okay, well, at least you have your 20 blob or whatever. But that's if you go first, or if nobody shoots at the 10-man squads.
Yeah, or if you, well, depending on how you can hide them, as long as the event's using the ITC rules if the bottom floor is full.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be interesting to see if that's in chapter approved. I wonder if it will be.
Oh, if the bottom floor.
The bottom floor thing's in there?
Yeah,
I doubt it will be, but it would be interesting.
In the developers, designers' commentaries, they were to ask them. Someone asked them if they were ever going to change any of the core rules, and an example was given that was terrain. They made the comment that terrain is not a core rule.
So
it's in the advanced rule.
So they will change the rule.
But if they want to, it's something they can't change because it's not a core. They don't consider it a core rule.
So what do they consider a core rule? Like just the part that's literally in the area that's the core rule?
Yeah, not the part that's in the advanced rules, which is the terrain.
Okay.
That's where the terrain is.
The core rules are like the 4-page.
It's that pamphlet you
pamphlet,
get with the box set.
Well, yeah, they allow those pamphlets, man. They can't go changing that thing.
I know, I got mine. I keep forgetting to use it.
So also came out as new ITC missions, right?
Yeah, we want to talk about that?
Sure.
Forget about the points?
Everybody's seen them.
All right.
I'm talking about things everybody's seen.
Anything that
I mean, people are going to have their reading comprehension problems anyways.
True. So for those that don't know, the new ITC missions came out just today.
I'll try to throw a link in for people who don't computer.
I got the link from someone else. I did not find it.
You didn't just go to frontlinegaming.org?
No, someone else posted on another chat.
Champions missions updated right there on the front page.
It was in chat. In another chat posted it, so I just forwarded it because you can just share in the chat to another chat.
Yeah.
So I just shared it to our chat.
Lazy.
Quick and lazy. It's how things get done.
There's a link.
There you go.
That took me no time whatsoever.
That took way longer than when I did it. Mine was just one button.
We were having a lovely conversation the whole time we were doing it.
So, ITC missions. We won't go into the main missions. I don't think they changed much.
No, I don't think they did either.
Because all the missions are the same in terms of the primaries. It's really the bonus, and I think they've more or less stayed the same. But did change were the secondary missions.
Yeah.
Although one question I do want to bring up before we do that is, in the primary mission it says each player scores a point at the end of their player turn, which I didn't enforce, but apparently it's been. So other players have been enforcing that if let's say one of my units, I kill one of your units, but it's during your close combat phase. So it's your turn and I kill it. I don't get the...
Each player scores points at the end of their player turn.
Yeah. Which means I only scored on my turn, so I have to kill your unit.
Okay, so this is going to be the what's the definition of is? We make that joke all the time because
I wonder how many people don't get that joke.
They better get it, or I'm going to be salty.
If I told my daughter, she wouldn't get it.
Well,
she's 22.
You should have educated your daughter better. So, what's your definition of scores? So each player scores points at the end of their turn. So just because I accrued a point on your turn doesn't mean I can't then score it at the end of mine. If score literally means just scoring it on my score sheet, then it doesn't matter when the point was accrued, at which point prior to that scoring point. I simply score at the end of my turn.
Okay.
So if you go first...
the end of your player turn as opposed to the end of that
the end of the player turn, right. So you go first, I go second.
Right.
Right. You, in your first turn, get into assault with me. I end up wiping one of your units because you're an idiot and you assaulted the wrong thing.
Right.
Okay. It's not my turn, though.
Right.
But at the end of my turn, I can score that point for something that's occurred prior to that happening. Because it doesn't say each player scores points at the end of their player turn, 4 points accrued during that turn.
Okay.
It simply says each player scores points.
People are reading it as literally like you just said. They're adding that second part.
Well, of course they are, because people love to add things that aren't there.
Did you destroy one or more enemy units? And it doesn't say when.
Right.
So.
Did I destroy them prior to the scoring point, which was also after the previous scoring point?
So you're saying make sure you fight for it and then call you as a judge at LVO.
That's true. If you want this to go your way at the LVO, you call me as the judge. Yes.
But not on Sunday.
But not on Sunday, I won't be there. Which is too bad because the chat would melt down over that probably.
Yeah, you guys.
What you guys? What you guys?
No, because last year you left and Danny left, and I was by myself.
You're fine. You're just running the funsies nonsense.
It was not funsies.
It
was not funsies. That's for sure.
Seemed like funsies to me.
No, that was the game.
Safely ensconced on my plane flight home.
That was the day.
Watching the Falcons blow it.
I had to deal with collusion.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, fine. Not funsies. Not funsies.
So
I think you guys worked that out for this year, didn't you?
Kind of. Yeah, it's going to be. Well, I think it's just going to be basically a tournament tree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One and done, I think. But we're also doing multiple events. I think we have to go over. We can do that in a future episode. Talk about LVO with everybody.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have to discuss who's covering what.
Yeah.
Because there's a doubles tournament. There's our little 8-man tournaments, and I think there's a third on Sunday.
Yeah.
But there's a 2-day gladiator tournament.
Sure, I'm glad I'm not going to be there on Sunday.
We'll be there Saturday, though.
I will be. It does suck that this year it falls on a weekend where I'm actually contractually obligated to be at work on a Sunday. Like the only one every year that I'm
so you're leaving like Saturday night, huh?
I am.
You're going to miss our dinner.
Well, fine. Be that way. Yeah, I guess I will.
Are you? I don't know what time your flight leaves. You can leave at midnight.
The latest flight.
Gotta be there.
I think the latest flight I haven't booked it yet, but the latest flight I can get
shouldn't
out.
have said anything.
The latest flight I can get out is like 8:30ish.
Oh,
yeah, so I'm starting to miss.
We don't finish till like 7.
Right.
So all right. Well, that bad news aside.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about the secondaries mainly because that's where the changes are. They have, I believe, they added one.
Okay.
They changed the names on a few.
Sure.
But
I like how they put it into categories of like old school.
Yeah.
Gangbusters.
So Headhunter's the same, 1 point for each enemy character destroyed.
Should just call the Gangbusters one browsers.
I mean,
you put the adult thing on this one, right?
It should be. I've never changed it. It is explicit on our iTunes, so. Kingslayer.
So with browsers, it's not explicit. It's just adult content.
Yes. Kingslayer, I believe, stayed the same. 3 wounds. 4 wounds.
I didn't notice any changes to that one, yeah.
Reaper began the game with 10. Oh, began the game with 10 plus models.
Right. So I have to begin the game with 10 plus.
Okay.
If a unit begins the game with 20 plus.
So if I had 19 Poxwalkers and I have 40 by the end, you still only get 1 point.
Yes.
Wow. Recon is the same, I believe, at the end of your player turn. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Each unit. So that all that stayed the same. Big Game Hunter is the same. Enemy model with 10 or more wounds.
Yeah.
Doesn't say start.
No, it doesn't. 1 point for every enemy model with 10 or more wounds that is destroyed.
Oh, enemy model. So if you have a unit, is there any units that have 10 wounds? Not
any models?
Vehicles? Yeah, any models. Only vehicles, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, the big ones.
No, but that are units. Because if you buy a vehicle squadron, they turn into separate units when they're deployed. They deploy at the same time, but become separate units.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Titan Slayer is, I believe, the same.
I never chose that one, so I don't know.
Well, really? Not even against, you never played against Magnus or, Titanic. You never played against Knights?
No. Not since these missions came out.
Oh, okay. So every 8 wounds, and the Knight will only give you 3 at most.
Right.
I think I'm going to use the...
I mean, this would be really good in games where, like, you could take a Porphyron, which is not ITC, or not the LVO, because the
well, how many points is it now?
Isn't it still 34?
No, because Reese has already said once chapter approved is... after Saturday, the power level ban is gone.
Oh, cool, okay.
This is why we want to talk the points, because... anything that would normally be in Apocalypse is now basically priced out.
Oh, because they changed the point. Right.
For instance, Super Chicken, which we talked about earlier, will be 1,500 points.
Cool.
As opposed to 700.
So you're saying you want to drop the overall price point level of the lists?
No,
I don't think I was in this conversation with Reese.
No, no, he's mentioned it on his podcast also.
Okay.
Once Chapter Approved comes out, they're dropping the power level ban.
Right. No, I knew that part.
But I think part of the reason, this is just me speculating, I think the reason is because everything's been basically priced out of being usable.
It's not because everybody on the internet bitches about everything and he's tired of hearing it?
No. Because, like, the Warhound Titan is now 2,000 points.
Okay.
Not the Warlord, the Warhound.
Yeah, the Warhound. Yeah.
Warlord is like 6,000 now.
Which was never going to be playable.
Well, it was 4,000. I think the Reaver used to be 2, now it's 4.
Yeah.
The Taunar, the Supremacy suit, I believe is 1,500 now.
Okay.
Before I think it was like closer to...
So you could technically take one.
You could, but...
How many points is the Porphyron?
That I don't know. I didn't check, but I think it might... I think Tim still plans on using it. So.
Well, he was talking about using 2.
If it's 2, then they're probably like 1,000 points.
You want to say he was saying he's wanting to run 2 and Gilliman? Was that what he said? I don't remember. I had to look it up. But it's funny.
Gilliman's almost 400, which means that the Porphyrians are probably 800 each. And so that would be at 1,600. Gilliman's will be 385.
Yeah. That's right.
That thing's insane.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking was the chapter approved they were going to get rid of the super detachment, whatever
we haven't seen any.
We haven't seen the detachment stuff, so we don't know.
We haven't seen anything yet. Behind enemy lines looks like it's about the same.
And at least partially within 12 years. Yeah.
1 point
at the end of your player turn. Right.
Oh, at player turn instead of end of game turn.
Right.
Which I surprisingly picked at almost every game at SoCal Open, and I got at least 2 points every game I had it.
Right.
In a lot of cases, I got 4. When it was at the end of game, because at SoCal it was at the end of the game.
I like it better this way. I think that's a better way to do it.
At the end of the game.
Yeah. No, the end of the player turn.
End of the player turn.
Yeah. I prefer things to be at the end of the player term. I don't like the things that are end of game unless it's like the big objectives.
Right.
Like unless it's the relic, unless it's something big. I don't like it to be at the end. I like the player turn. You should accrue points throughout a game, is my opinion. But I also like first past the post missions where you're accruing tons of points and you finish. Right, you finish at a specific point. So that it just fits my ideal of games.
Death by Count 1,000 cuts is the same. They added what we called old school, and what that is basically the original tertiary points.
The original 3 plus last strike.
Well, first strike, which is so instead of first blood, which is just destroying you in the first turn.
Yeah.
Slay the Warlord, Line Breaker,
and
last strike, which is probably why they changed behind enemy lines.
Yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense.
So you can't double up. And then last strike is just kill a unit in the last battle round, so it doesn't matter when your game ends. So if you happen to end on turn 3,
then if you killed a unit, then you're
going to get last strike. I don't know how often I would guess it would depend on the army.
Yeah, if I was playing an army that I knew I was going to kill a lot of stuff of no matter what.
Or if they had like
Sure.
a warlord that was going to have to come at me, like
Right.
if they happened to pick Magnus or Mortarion.
Right.
Then Gangbusters. Select an enemy unit consisting of multi-wound models. Oh, okay. This is in response to people taking dreadnoughts, the robots,
The Castellans, yeah.
the Castellans, things like of that nature that are just under the 10 wound, which was Big Game Hunter.
Yes.
So Gangbusters.
Yeah, it's crazy that the Castellans are just under, but they are. I mean,
they're only what, 6 wounds?
yeah, they're not that. I mean, they're not that good. They're good, but they're not like.
No, they're good, but not game. Tournament winning good, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're good and like they're frustratingly good.
Yes.
For casual players, and they're frustratingly good for middle of the road players like you and I, but they're not win tournament good.
Right.
Right.
And then Gangbusters. So it's Gangbusters, you select a unit consisting like Ogrins,
Yep.
Obliterators, Snurglings.
What do Blitz? Oh yeah, Blitz would fit.
They're 3 wounds each.
Yeah.
Each enemy model that started with 5 or more. Oh,
In the chosen unit.
it has to consist of a unit that starts with 5 or more wounds. So Nurglings are
Right.
fine because they only have 4 wounds.
As long as you don't take
No.
more than the basic number of Nurglings.
No. Each model. Each
enemy
Nurgling
model in the chosen unit is destroyed. That started. Oh yeah.
started
Right,
with
right.
5.
Mhm.
Bulgarians only have 3 or 4. So it's really just like the Castellans.
1 point for the following.
Um,
Oh, but you can do this one. Every 2 enemy models in the chosen unit destroyed that start the game with 2 to 4 wounds.
so every 2, so you'd have to destroy 8. So it'd have to be a unit. But see, Nurglings, you usually only take 3.
The Blitz, you only take 3.
That's the max. You can't take any more or less.
Oh, that's right. You can't add anymore. I'm thinking Terminators.
So 2. Well, no, regular Terminators are base 5.
Yeah, if you're playing somebody who's got a giant squad of 10 Terminators, which I don't know why you do that, but sure. I mean, I only considered to do that for a little bit.
I took
but don't know why.
10 at one point.
Yeah. Well, remember, I wanted to run 10. I wanted to run 10 with the Lightning Claws.
I did run 10. It was okay, but I switched to. I got more shots with Obliterators than I did with Terminators.
Those models I actually didn't sell. I still have those.
The
The 10 Terminators.
Really?
I have the 5 that I built with the Lightning Claws, and I have the 5 that I didn't. So I can still do that.
I guess, but I think the.
I don't think it's good. I just could.
I think the Obliterators are better. The Terminators are better at close combat, but you didn't get them for close combat. You got them for the plasma.
Right.
But I'm finding the Obliterators work much better than the Terminators at a cheaper price.
Which is funny because so many people when that book came out were like pissed that the Obliterators were the way they were.
I kind of was too, to be honest.
Right. Because everybody wanted what they had before.
Oh my god. Well, okay, yes. 3.5. If you never played with 3.5, the Obliterators are actually, good.
They weren't bad in 4th. They weren't terrible. I like to run when with the 4th edition codex. I like to run a unit of Obliterators and the slash
I think the
guys
problem,
with the lash.
The problem for
So
me,
you lash them in and you plasma cannon them.
the problem for me was that they used to be T5.
Okay.
They used to be T5 with the invulnerable save,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you gave them Mark and Nurgle, they were T6 all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So again, spoiler.
See, I didn't run them in 3.5, so I didn't care.
I had 2 units of 2.
Okay.
Because 3 was too much. 2 was like the sweet spot.
Scenarios didn't really change.
Scenarios
the
didn't
maps.
rate too much. They had the new scoring sheet,
Yeah, that's cool.
which has a lot of black ink on it.
Yeah, but it looks good. This is Chris did this, right? Chris Morgan.
No,
He
he
didn't do
did the
this one?
format. The original idea was from somebody else. I forget who though.
Oh, okay. Oh, he did the mission formatting.
Chris did the
Chris
mission
did the
formatting. He did I think he did the original score sheet. Then someone came out with this one, and we.
For those of you who don't know, Chris Morgan is one of the LVO judges. He's the only head judge not affiliated with TFG Radio, right?
He's actually from Forge the Narrative.
He's from Forge the Narrative, right?
Podcast, and he's a very dedicated Blood Angel player. So he will be
He's gonna
happy
be super happy soon
when he gets his book.
He's been very excited in the judge chat we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In case you don't know, both of us will be there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depending with my work situation, I should be there the whole time.
Yeah, that's why I was asking when you're going to leave, because if you're leaving Thursday, I'll drive out with you guys.
My brother's leaving. You can drive out with him. He don't
Okay.
care.
What about Danny? Is he flying out or driving out?
He is. I think he's. No, he's flying. I think and coming back with my brother.
Oh, okay. The opposite of what I would probably do.
He's doing the opposite. The opposite day with you guys.
It's weird. Like the flights home on Saturday are super cheap, because nobody wants to leave Vegas on Saturday night.
Right.
And the flights in on Thursday are expensive because everybody wants to go into Vegas on Thursday.
Yeah, if my work situation changes, I may have to fly in like Friday night.
Okay.
Or Friday afternoon. So we'll see on.
But I think you should be there for Saturday, Sunday.
I'll be there for Saturday, Sunday. I would probably have to leave like right after the award ceremony.
Hopefully, next year's LVO is a different weekend.
No, I think it's the same weekend.
Is it?
I don't know.
Then hopefully
Don't you have any influence about that?
No, it's not. It's assigned by the Archdiocese. That day, it's like what is it called?
I don't know.
It's like, oh God, I can't think of it.
I stopped going to church a long time ago. Now I have to go to a baptism class.
It's like the Catholic Schools Week. That Sunday that starts it is the same day that everybody does their open houses and stuff. Basically.
Oh, okay.
So I had to be there for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
My daughter's 22.
Yeah. Well, I worked there. I mean, so
true.
I had to be there.
And then yeah. So, although I do have to go to baptism class for my nephew.
Oh yeah.
Look at
Oh
yeah. When we played on Tuesday.
You one-shot a Storm Raven with one squad of Blitz.
Yes.
What did you roll for all the penetrate? Or what did you roll for all the wounds? 6s for everything?
Well, it's D3 damage, so it was. I think it was.
Right, so it's 6s for everything, right?
Well, 5 or 6s because that's 3 damage.
Oh, right.
But I had like 5 shots, and each one did like 2 damage, and it's only 14 wounds. But what I did was I used the Eye of Night, which I talked to Carlos about, and did D3 mortal wounds to it.
Nice.
And then I smote it.
Of course, smite.
Another did
D3. Oh, the broken power comes through again.
Yeah. I smited it, and then I finished it off with the one. And
then
because we were playing Longboard Edge,
can you imagine though how much different the reception to 8th edition would be if smite didn't exist? Like if people say it's not a problem. But think about it this way: how much less absolute bitching would there be if smite simply didn't exist?
It would be a lot less. I mean, It's funny because, as far as I can tell, I haven't looked at some of the other books, but most of the books have something else that does mortal wounds, but not like smite.
Right, it is not the same way, and so it's not as bad.
Or not as severe as it could. Like smite, I could get a D6 smite.
Sure.
The other one they have is Infernal Gaze, which is basically I roll 3 dice on a 4+, you take a mortal wound.
Right.
So max 3, usually 1 or 2.
Right.
Or even if it was just a straight 2 damage.
Well, it's all that area effect nonsense.
Well, true.
I just don't. No. I think that if it hadn't existed at the beginning, there'd be a lot less
issues.
Not even issues. There'd just be a lot less complaining about the other stuff that happens, or the other stuff that comes out.
Oh.
Because like the stupid thing with the character thing that came out, everybody overreacts, reads it wrong, overreacts, rubs salt in their hair, or dirt in their hair, whatever the phrase is. They get all mad about it. But I think there'd be a lot less of that overreaction if a couple of the things had worked better from the start.
Okay.
If Smite hadn't been there from the start, if Supreme Command Detachment hadn't been there from the start,
yeah,
that would have been if driver system driver.
You get a designated. You're the official TFG designated driver.
Give you gas money.
Yeah, it's either T-shirt or gas money. What do you want? You're driving.
We should just make him a judge. He's there.
He was the official helper that month.
He was.
We should just make him a judge. It is 8th edition.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say naive, but I think GW did because they had something similar in Age of Sigmar.
Mm-hmm. They were ready for it.
They thought that it wouldn't be as bad for 40k. I think.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem was Age of Sigmar does not have the same force organization as 40k does, and plus they came out with
it doesn't have the same players either. And that's not a knocking against Age of Sigmar players. They think differently. The Age of Sigmar doesn't have those guys playing it because it was new. A lot of people didn't jump ship, but those super competitive guys that want to pick the best thing and take as much of it as possible. That were still thinking like in 7th edition, right? That's the list building in 7th. Is that thing good? Yes. How many of it can I take?
Well, okay, but
and so then you get the Malefic Lord problem, and then you're like, cool, I can take all these.
Right, because of the Supreme Command. Yeah.
Right. They don't have that for Age of Sigmar.
No,
those types of players don't exist.
No, I think they do exist. But the army construction mechanics are different. There's no way you can take like 5 HQs in Age of Sigmar.
That's true. There's no Supreme Command detachment.
Right. There's nothing similar to a Supreme Command detachment.
Right.
So what you can do is there's battalions that give you a caster.
Okay.
Or you can take up to like 2 or 3 in a unit, but the range is shorter. I think it's only no, I think the range is the same. It's like 18 inches. But characters are easier to kill in Age of Sigmar.
So it's not as big of a deal.
Right. Because in Age
your brother says that you guys get paid in breakfast buffets.
Yeah, he pays. Yeah, he does. Well, I do. He does. But I think in Age of Sigmar, basically, if you can see a character, you can kill it. You can shoot at it.
Okay. Unlike 40K.
Unlike 40K, where there's all these restrictions. I haven't seen the 2017 General Handbook, but I don't think they changed it.
It was a fine mechanic. I mean, there wasn't too much with Age of Sigmar I didn't like. The only thing I didn't like about it was nobody was playing it where we are.
Right. Yeah. Well, nobody in our group was playing.
No, our store was 40K and stayed 40K centric.
Yeah.
And just nobody really ever jumped ship to Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So, and it's not a knock on the game. It's not. It's a good game. It's just not what we play.
Right. No, but I mean,
I think there's a larger Flames of War following than there is Age of Sigmar.
You know what? I haven't asked lately because the Age of Sigmar players play on Monday, so we're never there.
Yeah, we
never see them. But unlike,
we see the Flames of War guys because they play a lot on Saturdays.
Right. I think there's a lot more Flames of War players lately with the new edition and Team Yankee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of influx actually of historical gamers because I was just there today and those people talking about
Saga.
No, about the pirate one. Well, Saga 2.0.
Oh, the pirate one, yeah.
The Saga 2.0 comes out next year.
I'd be into the pirate one if it wasn't pirates.
Then what would it be? What would you
Different
want?
ships.
Just
I don't like pirate ships. This is what we were discussing the other day when we were saying how I missed Dystopian Wars.
Because about that, the new developer, the new owner or whatever, they're going to separate the ship part from the land part.
Oh, okay, good.
So no more land and ship.
I thought you were going to say they also went bankrupt and are now selling it off.
Oh my god. No, they just released the Wild West Exodus coming. The re-release is coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
Which is what they're doing also.
No, but I don't want ships of the line. I don't want the wooden. I don't care about wooden ship combat. I play Sid Meier's Pirates. Whatever. Who cares?
All right. So now
I want steel, iron. I want the big.
You don't want wooden ships and Iron Men?
No. Like Master and Commander, I refuse to watch that movie.
Why?
Just that's not my thing.
Okay. Well, what about the book? Read the book?
No, I didn't read the book.
Oh.
But it's also when I read that era,
I
know the battles that happened. I have to teach a lot of stuff. I have to teach about Trafalgar and whatever. But I don't. That's not what I like. Like when I'm reading about the French Revolution and Napoleon and stuff, I like the land battles.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going into I'm not going to play Napoleonics, but my point is, in a game that involves ships, I want the ships to be.
We've already discussed. Both of us enjoy the World War One.
Yeah, World War One era.
And even though there weren't many, very few. I could probably count on one hand on the major.
Jutland and trying to push the Bosphorus Strait, and that's about it. And the Bosphorus Strait was mostly battleships shooting at land targets and then blowing up by mines.
Then there was the one. I think it was it was in the Atlantic, but near South America, I think, where they were chasing that one German ship in the Pacific. I think.
That was the Mediterranean.
No, there was one in the. I think it was the Pacific.
Okay,
I forget. I have to listen to that.
They were chasing the fleet in the Mediterranean too.
Yes,
there was a
yes.
And even that we're using fleet, but there was fleet is a liberal use of the word for that engagement. Yeah, but I would love to see. That's the kind of game I like.
Okay.
I don't want ships with sails and grape shot and the chain shot, and I just don't care.
Oh, okay, well, that sucks to be you. I'll play whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to play. I already forgot what we were talking about.
Whatever. That's a good tangent. I like historical stuff. It's fine. We were talking about the Dystopian Wars. Or at least you were talking about how the company...
Oh, yeah, the company's thinking of what they're going to do is separate so you can't have the land fighting the ship.
Right.
Which is part of the, charm at the time, but they're going to separate it so it's just a pure
I don't think
ship
I never thought that was part of the charm.
Some people like that. And so that it's a pure...
Even the blimps and the airplanes got to me.
The World War One?
Yeah, in Dystopian Wars. I literally just wanted the ships.
Oh, okay. Well, when they come out with that, whenever we can play that.
Cool, but no airplanes.
What? all these stipulations.
But hey, man,
what if I have an aircraft carrier, a water?
Making weird stipulations about games and playing them a specific way is like tradition at the store.
I know. Well,
I mean, not amongst our group, but there's certain people who must play a game a specific way, and if you don't play it that way, they're going to threaten to throw you out of the group.
That is an actual story.
It's an actual story for several game systems, all involving the same person.
Back to 40K.
I do want to start playing Shadespire. I want to do Necromunda.
They're going to do
but I'm going to wait for either the Gene Stealer or Chaos Gangs.
They already teased that they're coming out with a Gene Stealer cult.
And Chaos Gang. They teased that one.
And Chaos,
So I'm going to wait for one of those 2 boxes before I play.
Okay, I don't know who you're going to find at the store to play, but Necromunda.
I thought you were going to play Necromunda.
No, I'll probably play Chaos.
Okay, then we'll play something. Why wouldn't people play Necromunda?
It takes up a lot of table space, and it's very terrain intensive.
We'll just play it here.
We can just play here. That's
play here and stream it. What's the size of the table?
It's usually 4x4 or 4x6.
Oh, 4x4? 4x4 is easy.
Okay. And then Shadespire, we're all in. What's the other one you said?
Shadespire's fine. That's what I said. Shadespire and Necromunda.
Okay.
I'd like to do Blood Bowl. I'd like to get a team.
Oh, they're doing a Shadespire League at the store. They're going to do one.
When are they going to do that?
I have to talk to Chad, but we'll see what the day is. But he's mentioned it.
That'd be fun. Well, he's doing the Shadespire tournament.
No, someone else is running it.
He's playing?
No.
Oh, he's not going to be there at all? That's too bad. Because he likes that game.
Yes.
Right.
There's a story behind that I will not tell on the air.
Sure, we're going to talk about that later. We're almost wrapped up, so we can talk about it later.
We're just about done.
But Shadespire is cool. Blood Bowl would be cool. Necromunda is cool. Okay. Although apparently I'm not going to find anybody to play it with. According to you.
No.
Okay.
Well, we'll see.
The models are cool.
We'll see what we'll see what the Chaos models look like.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Orlocks look cool.
Which one's that one?
It's the one they announced.
That's not the chicks.
No, it's not the chicks. It's not the steroid guys.
Okay.
If you look at forum on the community page, they showed images of the Orlocks.
I'll have to look it up. I think I just missed that one.
They announced it last week at the Warhammer Day or Fest or whatever it's called. Did you fill out your questionnaire, your survey?
Yes, I did. And at every opportunity that I was given...
You asked for squats.
No. Oh. At every opportunity I was given, I said, stop having Forge World write rules and just make models. Have Games Workshop write the rules, and Forge World make the models for the rules.
Subtle.
I was not being subtle. I was trying as hard as I could to beat them over the head with the fact that Forge World should not be writing rules.
I should have messaged you that I was making my doing the survey.
And then at the very end, where you get the big block of space to give feedback, I gave very specific feedback that they should support TFG Radio.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even do that.
Oh, come on, man. And then my other specific feedback was roll Forge World into Games Workshop as a single company.
Oh, okay.
So that buying the models can be done through a single website.
I did tell them,
because they said, how do you want to support? How do you want to change the websites?
I did tell on that part. I did tell them to at least switch to the dollar system, or allow for regional pricing.
Allow people to buy things easier through the website.
Yeah.
Put all of it on the one website for purchase. Get rid of the Forge World website. It's not needed. And stop letting Forge World write rules. And support TFG Radio.
There you go. Look at that.
So if you're listening and you haven't filled out your thing, or you're watching and you haven't filled out your thing, and when you go to put in feedback, what would you like us to do to support the community? Support TFG Radio.
There you go. I got to go get my 5 other email addresses to go fill that out.
Yeah, I filled it out with the one with my last name, so hopefully I don't look too close to the last name, and then hopefully nobody who's looking at the survey and my last name watches the show.
They know you're Salty John anyway, so nobody knows your last name.
My email's not. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Now if you had gone,
well, everybody who's friends with me on Facebook knows my last name.
Nobody's really.
That was the best part about several of the 40K groups, as they got big on Facebook, was people were talking, and I'd be joining the group, and then somebody would say something to me and reference me as Salty John. People were like, whoa, wait a minute. That's you? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you're not salty. I'm like, I know, that's what I say.
Oh my god, you are.
I'm not.
There's a reason you have that nickname. You do not give yourself that.
I have that nickname because you and Travis hate me. That's why I have that nickname.
I can either confirm or deny my hate for you on the grounds that it would cost me this Twitch.
You wouldn't be able to come here anywhere to do this?
Yes.
Right.
That being said, I think we can call it.
Yeah.
Unless everyone, I don't think anybody has any questions for us.
No, not many people hung on through the video.
Yeah, once
the video stuff, and after Carlos left too.
And once Carlos left, nobody cares. It's that Spanish accent that draws the ladies and the men.
The European.
The men.
Everybody likes that European stuff. Yeah. Again, I apologize for the choppy video. Luckily, the audio is correct and coming through, but the choppy video is just a problem with the internet here tonight is really slow for some reason. So something like 122,000 drop frames.
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
It's a lot. 68% of the frames were dropped.
So so I'll have this up in the next day or two, so you can listen to us instead.
Yeah.
That being said, don't forget that we do have if you're watching us right now or listening, don't forget we have the contest, the Patreon contest. Don't forget to go to the Patreon, just look up TFG Radio, and our page should come up. It can be as little as $1. It doesn't matter. Each dollar amount for each month, and the contest will end on February 1st. We'll give you an entry into the contest. Right now, the grand prize is a Start Collecting box and maybe something else.
Cool.
Of your choice. But it also includes.
Too bad I can't enter.
I didn't bring it today. I'll bring it up at the next Twitch stream. Is the Dice Tower that Shay,
nice.
Shay made for us? That it says TFG Radio on it. We'll show it off. Give that away. We have some gift certificates from Halfling, Happy Halfling Painting Workshop to give away. Clamshell of a character of your choice, vehicle of your choice, squad box, things of that nature.
That's all cool stuff.
For those that stuck with us since July, they basically get grandfathered in with all the entries from that.
Oh, nice.
So if you stuck with us through the time where kind of the dark period where we didn't have many episodes out and still contributed to the Patreon, those will count up to today.
Nice. That's good.
And anybody new will count whenever you put in. So whatever the dollar amount is, how many entries you get. If you send a donation, that will count too. Whatever the donation amount is, just let us know. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TFG Radio. Just look that up. Like the page. That's where most of the updates are. The contest, whatever painting, things like that.
Articles
at tfgradio.com. Danny puts up an article about every week. John sometimes puts up an article when he gets a fire under him about something.
Usually it's an article where I bitch about people.
Right, because you're not salty at all.
I'm not salty at all.
Also, just as a reminder...
I'm just delusional.
Delusions of grandeur.
Illusions of grandeur, yeah.
Just as a reminder, I'm trying to improve the Patreon page, the rewards especially. So if you haven't, we got some suggestions for rewards. If you have any suggestions on what you would like to see as a Patreon subscriber that we can give you, wouldn't be too hard to do, then let us know. You can send us an email, post it on Facebook, however you want. Email is tfgradiopodcast@gmail.com. And again, don't forget, you can contact us through the contact button on the website, tfgradio.com. Send us a message through Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. Anything else? I think that's just about everything. We do have a Twitter account, but it's linked to the Facebook. But I do sometimes post on the Twitter page separately. Yeah. Just because.
Only when you're tweeting at Donald Trump. Because it's easy to do.
I don't.
No,
I don't. I try to keep that separate because it.
You could always tweet at the wrong Donald Trump. That's funny. Apparently, that's the thing. Tweeting at the wrong person, thinking they're a world leader.
I don't even.
Do you even know what I'm referencing?
No, I don't even know what. No.
Come on.
No, I have enough going on in my life. I don't need that added heartache. That's about all I'm going to say about that.
That's fair. Fine.
Want to keep it 40K, keep it positive.
I tweet at him all the time. It's funny.
So if you want to see angry tweets from someone not apparently salty,
I actually use Twitter. I'm just making jokes.
I'm pretty sure you do under
synonyms or pseudonyms. I'm saying I don't use Twitter.
Deplore.
There's no John Weimler Twitter account.
Oh my god.
Oh, there is. It just doesn't get used.
I think I deleted my. I think I only use the TFG radio Twitter.
I had to get one, and work wanted us, the tech committee. They were like, hey, everybody needs a Twitter account to follow like tech stuff. And I was like,
why?
Okay, so I did it, and then I was like, after like a year or two, the tech committee never longer asked about it, and I was like, cool, I'm going to deactivate this account.
So I'm assuming no questions.
Nah.
Tell you no lies.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see everybody. Did we want to do one after Chapter 2 drops? We can wait.
Sure, we can do. I probably have time next week. Right now, all the extra stuff and like work is done.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll see how earth shattering it is.
We'll post and let you know.
Yeah. But until then, I'll see you guys on the interwebs.
Yeah. See ya.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation from TFG Radio. For more videos, podcasts, and Twitchcasts, visit tfgradio.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. To receive notifications of what we're up to and when we go live on Twitch, follow us on Twitch and give us a sub if you like. The best part about Twitch is you can be a part of the episode through our chat while we're live on the air. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.